I'm Katie Morton. I'm an intuitive and an energy healer.
And I'm Jennifer Palmer. I'm also an intuitive and energy healer and owner of Nourishing Journey.
And today we're going to talk to you about the roller coaster of spiritual growth.
It's always so much fun. You can either ride it screaming for your life or with your hands flying up in the air and enjoying the good ride. I don't know which one I do. Sometimes my hands are in the air, sometimes I'm like holding on for dear life.
Yeah, it depends on the day.
Or the hour.
Right, or the minute, the second, what's happening. Yeah, it's not, a lot of people when they think of spiritual growth, they think like, oh, it's going to be so pleasant and just this like upward trajectory of wonderment and beauty.
And wisdom. And perfection.
Right. And it's a lot messier than that. There's a lot of ups and downs, and it's inherently challenging. We need challenges to grow.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when people think of spiritual growth or the enlightenment process, and they aim for bliss and they aim for master manifestation, that tends to be a lot of what I see. And then if they struggle at all, they think they're doing something wrong. And what we have found is that it's really the struggle is where it's at. Not that I'm wishing struggle on anybody, but that's how we grow. And there's really good reasons for that catalyst of the struggle.
And learning to overcome it, of course. It's not just sitting in the struggle and being a victim about it. The point is to locate your divine power and your wisdom and, all of those things so that you can overcome the struggle. But there's learning in that, and it's rich soil for growth.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really weren't just put here to just learn how to manifest. And that's part of it. We weren't just put here to just learn about bliss. That's part of it. But a lot of that, in the contrast to the difficulties that show up in the catalysts, it allows us this gap where we need to figure out how do we learn and how do we grow so we can feel that connection and that bliss, that oneness again, and while still evolving as a soul, because we don't usually evolve so much when it's all bonbons and
soap operas and
bonbons and whatever that is. I don't know if I'd find that all that relaxing though. I don't know.
Yeah, not my thing either.
Yeah, but we're meant to work through a lot of different things, and it's the more difficult catalyst times that we go through that helps us do that. It gives us motivation because it does get uncomfortable, and so that discomfort is very, very important. But there are many things that we're working on when we have those difficult times.
Yeah, there's a long list. So soul lessons, that's, we all come here as souls, and we have often an overly ambitious list of things that we decide we're going to come to 3D to learn.
And it's all supposed to be perfect. We're never supposed to fail. We're never supposed to have challenges, no hurdles to jump, and we like to say flaming hoops. No flaming hoops to jump through.
Yeah, as if, there's plenty of flaming hoops to jump through.
Yes.
And according to the Raw Contact, the Law of One books, they do say about soul lessons that most souls are a bit overambitious and that there are bound to be certain failures of the soul lessons. Not everybody gets like a perfect scorecard. If you did, you probably undershot. So, incarnating, it's like, I guess you got to take your chance and cram as much learning into it as you can.
Yeah, and depending on what path of ascension you're choosing, according to the Raw Contact, Law of One, you have different lessons to learn and different ways to approach the idea of oneness, connection, love, and all of that. And so buckle up. Lots of lessons to be had if you're doing it right.
Truth. Yeah. So we were talking about the inherent challenges and catalysts that you'll face on Earth and with spiritual growth, cleaning up karma, personal, ancestral, collective karma.
Collective karma.
Yeah, it's a good time.
That's fun. Yeah.
Well, and when people say like, "Oh, karma's a bitch," and it's not. It's about balancing the energies.
Although sometimes I hope it is. Just kidding.
What team are you playing for?
I'm really kidding.
She is.
I don't wish that on anybody. Most of the time.
Usually. Okay, so you're gonna have to clean up some karma. Anyway.
I know, right? That's
all good. Yeah. So in soul contracts, so sometimes, I had an interesting experience recently where I was trying really hard to manifest something and I was doing everything right. I had all the right attitudes and I was doing all the right things in the physical, and I could not manifest what I was going for. And I found out that it was because there's a soul contract that was blocking my manifestation. So a lot of times when people think they're going to do soul growth and they're going to master manifestation and then they don't realize why they can't master the manifestation, it could be any of these issues, like the soul lessons, cleaning up karma. There could be soul contracts that are blocking the manifestation. So it's really important to explore all avenues of spiritual growth and not just aim for bliss and manifestation.
Yeah, I have to say, when I first got into all this, my spiritual awakening, it really started with the watching of the movie The Secret, and a lot of people blast that movie because it is superficial. And but when I saw that movie, it was really interesting because it awakened something in me that I remembered, and I just was dumbfounded for a few days, thinking, I think I knew this, but why would I know this? I didn't even know what it meant. And but I felt like it accessed something in me that allowed me a deeper connection with myself and to explore more what this was. So I think manifestation is one of the ways that many people jump into their spirituality nowadays. And when it doesn't work is when they start looking for the deeper reasons why. Right?
True, yeah. So it's an entree, which is a good thing. Let's talk about initiations. Not my favorite. Do you want to explain what an initiation is?
Yeah. So initiations are something that happens when you really are deciding which path of ascension you're going to choose. And those initiations are challenges, they're tests, they're helping you face your fears, they're helping you decide how you're going to move forward. So if you decide, yes, I definitely want to be of service, I want to help other people, you're going to be put into situations where you'll be challenged. Are you sure you want this? Are you sure you're ready to be a little less selfish? Are you sure you're ready to really want to help somebody, even if it makes you a little bit uncomfortable or maybe very uncomfortable? And are you committed to that path? It's a challenge of your commitment to it. And I'll tell you, you grow like crazy if you just still dive in and face it all. And I've known on my path a lot of facing of my big fears,
Yeah, definitely. There's a saying that it's like you have to fight the dragon to get to the gold. And that's, mythologically speaking, it's like that's where the growth is, that's where the treasure is, but you have to face the dragon.
Sometimes many dragons,
yeah.
And then you wonder where the gold is.
And then you think, is there really any gold? Is there only dragons?
I know, right? There's gold. There's really gold.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Little here and
well,
there.
And I think part of the process is realizing the gold is all around you all the time. And even the dragon is gold, and you're finding the gold within yourself. And that's a really important part of the lesson, is finding it within and appreciating what you are at that moment in time, no matter what's going on.
That was
right?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So, how does one manage the ups and downs of spiritual growth? Do you just cry, kick and scream?
Yell,
fight it,
cuss, yeah.
beat people up? No.
Well, maybe some of those.
Okay.
If you're less than perfect.
Right.
Like most of us.
Yeah. So but then when you're ready to kind of move forward on the growth path, so non-attachment, that's one of my favorites. Anytime that we feel like, I don't know, things are just not working out for me.
This is not what I had in mind.
Right,
universe.
maybe.
Not at all.
Yeah, it helps to detach from the outcome. If you can detach, it's in Buddhism, attachment is a major source of suffering, if not the source of suffering. And so the idea is to just, slow your roll, dial it back, calm down.
Yeah, I think a big part of this is remembering that the universe always knows best. The universe knows all the different angles, all the different things that are happening, your guides, the angels, universe, creator, everything around you knows a lot more than you seem to in this meat suit that we're in.
Behind the veil.
Behind the veil.
Yeah.
And, if we can just remember that, and remember that when we're attaching to something, we're thinking we know more. And if we can let go of the attachment, things can fall into place, and we're rolling with the rapids of the river. Instead of fighting it, it gets us to where we need to go. And otherwise, we're just struggling.
And if you stop struggling for a minute, the universe can show you what it's trying to show you, teach you the lesson it's trying to teach you.
Yeah.
And it gives you the chance to see the bigger picture and to get a higher perspective, because that's really a major factor in soul growth, is always reaching for that higher perspective, that, again, detached perspective, and coming from a place of being able to see, doing your best to see everyone's roles in the issue as opposed to just, me against them, to see that we're all in this together and that everyone's doing their best. Ultimately.
Yeah, we really mostly are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when we're not, we are.
Right. 'Cause we do what we can, so.
Yeah, so when you're talking about the ups and downs, another thing that's helpful too is trying to remember that even when you're not feeling like things are working in the direction you want it to go, or it's not happening fast enough, that the universe, it does know what it's doing, and there could be a lesson there, but it's always happening for you. So don't feel like, things aren't going as planned or anything like that. It's always happening in the way for the highest good, if you're allowing it to happen for the highest good.
Yeah.
Not always easy.
No.
And
yeah. Our last point is, when you're trying to manage those ups and downs of spiritual growth, energy healing is really helpful for it, because every emotion we have, and plus just cleaning up the karma, like that can cause energy blocks, and it can make everything a lot more difficult than it has to be. But if you can find yourself an experienced energy healer that you're comfortable with, they can help you with your soul growth. They can help make the lessons apparent to you. They can help with the energetics of the karma you're trying to clear. They can, if it's a good intuitive as well, they can enlighten you as to the soul contracts that you're dealing with, and also with figuring out initiations. If you're going through any initiation, it can really help to talk to somebody and help you get through that.
Yeah, it helps to know if there's a roadmap that you're kind of following, and the energy healer can tell you, go west. You need to go west.
Yeah.
Or, turn on your lights so you can see in the dark. It really does help.
Seriously.
So thank you so much for joining us, guys. And if you wanted to find us on the internet, we have websites, nourishing-journey.com.
And katiemorton.com. It's KATIEMORTON.com.
And we're also on Facebook under the same name.